Good morning students. In the previous video we have discussed about the green chemistry and what is the role of green chemistry in our daily life and also in the one part of science, that is in chemistry. So after second half of the chapter, that is green chemistry and nanotechnology or nanochemistry. So we'll start with the second half. So that is based on nanotechnology. So what is nano or what is nanoscience, that we will discuss. See on the screen, it's there. Nanoscience is the study of phenomena and manipulation of materials at atomic, molecular, macromolecular scales where properties differ significantly from those at the large scale. So in nanoscience we have to discuss about the manipulation and phenomenon of the materials like atoms, molecules, macromolecules, and the properties of these atom, molecules and macromolecules are slightly differ from those of large scale. So in that we will consider all the particles in a small scale or in nanoscale. So how do we define the nanotechnology? Nanotechnology is the design, characterization, production and application of structures, device and system by controlling shape and size at nanometer scale. So what is nanotechnology? It is the design, then characterization, production and application of structure, device and system by controlling the shape and size at nanometer scale. So when we size and shape will control at nanometer scale, then the regarding characteristics, production, application of different structures, that is the study comes in nanotechnology. So this is the concept of nanoscience and nanotechnology. Here we use the word nano, either it is nanoscience or nanotechnology. What is nano? The nanometer is the scale. What is 1 nanometer? 1 nanometer is the 1 billionth of the meter. 1 billionth means 1 nanometer is equal to 10 raised to minus 9 meter. The material we see around us, this is the bulk material which possesses the macroscopic, that is large amount, macroscopic physical properties. Example, grain of sand is the micro size material. Also it possesses the bulk properties. But the material which is synthesized at nanoscale, very small scale, it possesses the unique optical, structural, thermal, catalytic, magnetic and electrical properties. These properties change a function of size and they are very different from their bulk material. So in the bulk material we will see the size will be greater, but when we discuss about the nanoscale, then in nanoscale all different properties are generally we will consider the size as a very small size, that is nano size, that is 10 raised to minus 9 meter size. So in nano we are discussing the different physical properties for the very nanometer scale. So what is nanomaterial? The nanomaterial is the material having structural components with at least one dimension in nanometer scale. That is, at least one dimension should be there in nanometer scale, that is between 1 to 100 nanometer. Nanomaterials are larger than single atom but smaller than bacteria and cell. So if you compare the size of the nanomaterials, then it is larger than the single atom but its size is smaller than the bacteria and cell. They may be nanoparticles, nanowires, nanotubes according to dimensions. Nanostructure materials may be large organic molecules, inorganic cluster compounds and metallic and semiconductor particles. So these are the different kinds of the nanomaterials. Now there are different dimensions for the nanostructures. Some are 0-dimensional structure, 1-dimensional structure, 2-dimensional nanostructure. So what is 0-dimensional nanostructure? For example, for 0-dimensional nanostructures are nanoparticles. We already heard this word, nanoparticles. A 0-dimensional structure is one in which all 3 dimensions are in nanoscale. Which are 3-dimensional structures? X-axis, Y-axis and Z-axis structures are in nanoscale. 1-dimensional nanostructure, for example, nanowires and nanorods. 1-dimensional nanostructure is one in which 2 dimensions are in nanoscale. And in 2-dimensional nanostructure, for example, in thin films, it is one in which only 1 dimensions are in nanoscale. So this is the classification of nanostructures: 0-dimensional, 1-dimensional and 2-dimensional nanostructures. Now our topic is nanochemistry. So it is related to nanoparticles, nanostructures and nanoscience. So what is the definition for nanochemistry? It is the combination of two words, that is chemistry and nanoscience. So nanochemistry is the combination of chemistry and nanoscience. It deals with designing and synthesis of materials of nanoscale with different size and shape, structure and composition, and their organization into functional architectures. Nanochemistry is used in chemical, physical material science as well as in engineering, biological and medical applications. So what is the brief? In brief we will say nanochemistry is the combination of chemistry and nanoscience. So what is next one after nanochemistry? What are the characteristic features of these nanoparticles or small particles? First one, different properties we will discuss. First one is the color. So what is the color for nanoparticle? It is an optical property that is different at nanoscale. Example, our gold, elemental gold, which is in elemental form, element form. Elemental gold has shiny yellow structure, colored structure. But if we consider only 100 gold atoms which are arranged in a cube-like structure, then its color is red. So elemental gold is having shiny yellow color, but the 100 gold atoms when arranged in a cube, they shows the red color structure. Second particle, that is property surface area. High surface to volume ratio is the important characteristic of nanoparticles. With large surface area for the same volume, these small particles, that is nanoparticles, reacts with faster because more surface area will be available, and this more surface area provides more number of reaction sites, leading to more chemical reactivity. So when the surface area will be large but volume of nanoparticles or number of small nanoparticles are there, then they will react faster. So this one is about the surface area. Third property is catalytic activity. Now due to size increase in surface area with decrease in particle size, nanoparticles based catalyst are based as a catalyst, show increased catalytic activity. Nanoparticle catalyst can be easily separated and easily recycled. For example, we know that palladium, PD and platinum metal nanoparticles are used in hydrogenation reaction. Addition of H2 takes place in presence of platinum and palladium. TiO2, titanium oxide and zinc oxide, ZnO, are used in photocatalyst. Gold is in bulk form, it is inactive. So gold is inactive, but gold nanoparticles are very good catalysts for the different organic reactions. So these are the different types of catalysts which acts as the nanoparticles. Now thermal properties. Which are the thermal property? First property is melting point. The melting point of nanoparticle changes drastically and depends on the size. So melting point depends on the size. For example, sodium cluster Na, sodium is Na, not N. Na of 1000 atoms appear to melt at 288 Kelvin, while the cluster of 10,000 atoms of sodium melted at 303 Kelvin. And bulk of sodium melts at 371. So if we see that size is different, one we are taking 1000 atoms, second time 10,000 atoms, and next one the bulk of the sodium, and see the different melting points they have. Mechanical properties. Mechanical strength. Nano-size copper and palladium clusters with diameter in the size range of 5 to 7 nanometer can have hardness up to 500% greater than the bulk metal. So see the mechanical property or mechanical strength. Nano size copper and palladium cluster with diameter in size of range 5 to 7 nanometer can have hardness up to 500% greater than the bulk. Now, electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity is observed to change at nanoscale. For example, carbon nanotubes can act as a conductor or semiconductor. So we know that our nanotubes which we use at home, these act as a conductor or semiconductor. They are made up from the carbon nanotubes. So these are the thermal properties, mechanical properties and electrical properties. Next one. How to synthesize the nanomaterials? Synthesis of nanomaterials. See, the diagram is given. One diagram is given below. Diagram for synthesis. Schematic illustration for the separation of nanoparticles. If you observe the diagram is over here. See the diagram. So this is the diagram for synthesis of nanomaterials. So in the bottom approach, the molecular components are arranged themselves into more complex assemblies, atom by atom, molecule by molecule or cluster by cluster from the bottom. So from the bottom we are having the components like atom, molecules and cluster. Synthesis of nanoparticles of colloidal dispersion. In the top bottom approach, nanoparticles are synthesized in bulk material by breaking the material. The bulk solids are dispersed into fine species. So, weight chemical synthesis of nanoparticle. If the weight chemical, that is nanoparticle when they are in weight form, so weight chemical synthesis of nanomaterial. Sol gel process. Process is called as the Sol gel process. Sol is related to colloidal solution. Gel is also one colloidal solution. Sol gel process. So, what is Sol? Sol are the dispersions of colloidal particles in liquid. What are colloids? Colloids are the solid particles with diameters of 1 to 100 nanometer. Sol is the dispersion of colloidal particles in liquid. What is gel? Gel is the interconnected rigid network with the pores of sub-micrometer dimensions and polymeric chain. A Sol gel process can be based in inorganic polymerization reaction. It is generally carried out at room temperature. And Sol gel process includes 4 steps. Which are the 4 steps? First one is hydrolysis, polycondensation, drying and thermal decomposition. We will discuss one by one. So, the Sol gel process involves the following steps. First one, formation of different stable solution of alkoxide and solvated metal percussor. Then, gelation resulting from the formation of an oxide or alcohol breached network, that is gel, by polycondensation reaction. Aging. Aging of the gel means during that period gel get transformed into solid mass. Then drying of the gel. In this step, water and other volatile liquids are removed from the gel network. And last one is dehydration. What is dehydration? The material is heated. See the dehydration. The material is heated as temperature up to 800 degrees Celsius. So these are the different steps or reactions involved in solid Sol gel process. So see again, the steps in Sol gel processes are like this. Next one, different techniques are used. See the different techniques and which instrument are used for the determination of nanoparticle. First one is UV visible spectroscopy. This is the name of the technique. UV visible spectroscopy. Which instrument is used? UV visible spectrophotometer. Which information it gives? Preliminary confirmation of the formation of nanoparticles. Then X-ray diffraction, XRD. Instrument is X-ray diffractor. What it gives the information about particle size, crystal structure and geometry. Then scanning electron microscopy. SEM, scanning electron microscopy. Scanning electron microscope is the instrument, SEM. What it gives the information about the structure of surface of material, that is morphology. Morphology of the particles. Then transmission electron microscopy. Transmission electron microscopy. Which instrument is used? Transmission electron microscope, TEM. It gives the idea about the particle size. Then FTIR. What is FTIR? Fourier transform infrared. I for infrared spectroscopy. Fourier transform infrared spectrometer. This is the instrument. What it gives the idea? Absorption of functional groups. So these are the different kinds of the instruments which are used in nanotechnology. Next one is, see the next, history of nanotechnology. See, from the beginning we are using the concept of nanotechnology. It's not new. From the ancient time we are using the nanotechnology. Where we are using, see we observe that beautiful ruby red color of some ancient glass paintings are there, and this glass painting is due to gold and silver nanoparticles trapped in the glass matrix. Then decorative glaze and metallic film known as luster found on some medieval poetry. It is due to certain spherical metallic nanoparticle. Carbon black is the nanostructure material that is used in tires of car to increase the life of tires. Carbon nanotubes are made up of graphite sheets which are nanized diameters. They have high strength. Then fumed silica, a component of silicon rubber coatings. It is also a nanostructure material. So this is about the history of nanotechnology. From ancient time we are seeing the glass paintings, decorative glaze and metallic films we found. Carbon black also we are using. Carbon nanotubes are there. Fumed silica is also there. So these are all the nanostructure materials which we are using from the ancient times. Now where we are applying these nanomaterials, where we are application of nanomaterials. First one, application of nanomaterials. Nanoparticles can be contribute to stronger, lighter, cleaner and smart surfaces and systems. They are used in manufacturing scratch-proof eyeglasses, transport, sunscreen, crack-resistant paints and so on. In electronic devices, used in electronic devices, for example, magnetoresistive random access memory, MRAM. RAM is there in computer, MRAM. So what is the long form of MRAM? Magnetoresistive random access memory. Nanotechnology plays an important role in water purification technique. The provision of safe drinking water is currently on high priority. Recently, cost-effective filter materials coated with silver nanoparticles is in alternative technology, that is our water purifier. Water purifier is also based on nanomaterial technology. Self-cleaning materials. Which are the self-cleaning material? Lotus. Our lotus, we know that lotus is the example of self-cleaning. How it cleans because nanoparticles which are present on the lotus leaf, it repels the water and therefore carries the dirt along with it. And this effect is, so lotus leaf effect, it is one example of self-cleaning. So these are the applications of nanomaterials. Now nanoparticles and nanotechnology, where it is, what are its advantages? Advantages of these two. So first advantage is revolutioning electronics and computers part, computing or computers. Then energy sector, nanotechnology will make solar power more economical. More energy storage devices will become more efficient. In medical field, manufacturing of smart drugs helps to cure faster any disease and without any side effects. So manufacturing of smart drugs which are helpful for faster recovery without side effects. Curing of life-threatening diseases like cancer and diabetes. On these diseases also, the nanoparticles are found to be helpful. But some disadvantages are also there. What are the disadvantages? Nanotechnology, no doubt, it has raised the standard of living, but at the same time, it increased the pollution. Generally, it includes air pollution. The pollution which is caused by nanotechnology is called as the nanopollution. This kind of pollution is very dangerous for living organism. Also, nanoparticles can cause the lung damage. Inhaled percolated matter can deposit it throughout the human respiratory tract, and they will deposit on the lung and they cause the lung damages. So even though there are some advantages, some disadvantages are also there for the use of nanomaterials, nanotechnologies and nanoscience part. So this is our chapter, end of the chapter, nanochemistry and green chemistry.